All right, so the 6 elements of building the event. First is the vision we have for the event and the potential-based goal-setting process that we go through. So our vision and our goal-setting process go hand in hand. And there is a timeline by which we go through a step-by-step process over a 12-month period. Now, these timelines in here are general guides. These are not fixed in stone. This is, every event has its own oxygen and its own personality and can be flow separately from this to some degree. But generally, here is the thing, the times a year we should be all out focused on these elements. We start with a vision for the event and goal setting. We're going to go into that in just a second. Then leadership and assets, and that is that influencers, we're going to recruit an influencer group of people into the event and get them involved. And we're going to develop our assets, our core assets of the event, everything from we have a venue to our communications program and so on, and we'll talk about that. Then a recruitment campaign. Now, all year we recruit teams and sponsors and tables. So don't take it that this is the 3 to 6 months and that's the only time we do that all the time. That's should be a part of everything we do, should have that element in it. But there is a time in which that's all we do. And that is the 3 to 6 months leading into it, that recruitment campaign, which is a very focused and disciplined campaign, and we'll talk about that. And then the kickoff. And I'm a big believer in kickoffs because I do believe by having it on the calendar that we are going to have a moment leading so a few months before the event in which we are all holding ourselves accountable for having our stuff done, our recruitment done. At that point, we should have every team, every sponsor, all those elements are together 90 days out, and we have this locked in. It creates a discipline for us, an accountability for us. It puts push behind the recruitment campaign because the recruitment campaign is not counting down to the event, it's counting down to the kickoff. And at that kickoff, and these days it can very well be a virtual kickoff, we're accomplishing some very specific things. We're positioning our sponsors, we're positioning our leaders, we're hyping the event, we're talking best practices and success stories about those who have already been out there fundraising. We are building momentum. We're making people feel excited that they are part of this event, that they've said yes to this, that wow, this thing is really going and taking off. And if they haven't done their job leading into the event, I'm talking about the team captains, the table captains, and so on, then they should come out of this event fired up to go become that much more successful. So kickoffs are huge accountability up and down the organization, from the leader of that marketplace to the volunteer. Everyone should walk out of that kickoff feeling like, wow, we got some great things going here, and wow, we better get to work because I'm not going to be the only one that shows up at this event without my team filled, without my table filled, without boom, to boom, to boom. All right, so then event execution, we'll talk a little bit about that, and then recognize and re-up, we'll talk a little bit about that. So those are the 6 elements with times that go with them, and it helps in terms of a mental framework in terms of how we see at what point as we step back every few months when we need to and look at the event. We need to assess where are we against this macro calendar. Are we ahead? Are we behind? And that we can start to hold ourselves accountable to a macro calendar that's essentially screaming in our ear.